we are going to be making a strawberry pretzel tart. Differs a little bit from a cake in that our base today is going to be made of pretzels. Normally I would have probably done graham crackers today, but I'm going to do pretzels because I got a little stress and I need to work it out. Okay, so let's make the crust first. I've just got some regular pretzels, salted pretzels. Don't do low sodium because you want that salty, sweet component. You know, I'm just going to get out my, whoa, there goes my lemon. Get out my anxieties. I don't know about you guys, but I'm cooped up with my family. And I love my family, but man, this is a lot of together time. So it's real, real nice to be able to cook outside of my house. Okay, so what you want is you want to chop these up really, really fine. You could also use a food processor, but then that would be no fun. I just want to get out a little frustration. Just use any rolling pin. I've got just like a sealable Ziploc bag. And at the ready, I have some melted butter. The exact measurements are on your website, on harmonsgrocery.com. And then I'm just putting sugar in this recipe also, in the crust. Okay, done. How about that's just about perfect. Okay, so I have a nice big bowl right here. And I want 2 cups, so I just kind of eyeballed it. 1, 2. Okay, I have a little bit left over, so there you go. That's all right. All right. So now I have my pretzels, and I'm going to go ahead and put in my melted butter. Make sure it's unsalted, just because, you know, we've got already tons of salt going on right there. And then I have a 1/4 cup of sugar. Just mix that up, and you want to preheat a 350-degree oven. I just want to coat all of the pretzels. So you could do it in your microwave. I just kind of, I think that's still going, put it on my stovetop on simmer, and that helps melt my butter. Okay, so you want a removable tart pan. This is a 10-inch tart pan. Let's just put my crust in there. And then just use a measuring cup. Kind of go from the center and work your way out and up the sides. So you're kind of just firmly packing it down. In addition to kind of, I'm using my thumb as a guide so that I'm forming a nice crust, like an edge. And I don't want any holes. Okay, that is perfect. All right, so what you want to do is put it on a sheet pan because there's a little bit of butter in here and you don't want to get your oven completely nasty. And pop it in the oven for about 8 minutes. So in it's going to go. I've got 2 sticks of cream cheese, 8 ounces of cream cheese, so I have 16 total ounces of cream cheese here. It needs to be softened, and then just go ahead and beat it with the paddle attachment. And then I have a 1/2 cup of cream. So you're going to be like, are you kidding me that you're whipping this? I've timed myself before, and it's a whopping 3 minutes. So I'm just going to talk as I go about all the other ingredients. So you have some vanilla, a teaspoon of vanilla you're going to be using. A 1/2 cup of sugar is going to go into this cream cheese mixture. And then I have strawberries that I have rinsed off. You want to make sure that you hull your strawberries, especially this time of year when they're just starting to get sweet. You want to take that center hull out so that they're as sweet as they can possibly be. The hulls tend to be a little bit bitter. So make sure that you remove that along with the stems. And then I just cut them into slices. So I'll show you in a second what that looks like. And then I also have some strawberry preserves, just a couple of tablespoons of strawberry preserves. And we're going to kind of paint our tart at the very, very end. Okay? Oh my gosh, I'm obviously not going fast enough. Hang tight. We want nice stiff peaks, and you want your cream to be really nice and cold. And up until a couple minutes ago, I had the entire bowl in the refrigerator chilling. Come on, Les. Come on. And then we also have, hello, lemon. I'm going to do an entire lemon. I'm going to get the zest off of an entire lemon that's going to go in our cream cheese. So besides the crust that you're baking, the rest of it is just in the refrigerator. Okay, we're almost done. So I've just created all this volume, and I really don't want to lose it when I incorporate it with my cream cheese. So you're going to see how that works in a second. Okay, so see how I'm like nice stiff peaks on my cream? So that's ready, okay? So let me add a teaspoon of vanilla. No sense in using vanilla bean paste in this recipe because, I mean, I guess you could have a little flex on it, but you're kind of hiding it with the strawberries. So that is definitely optional. Let's put in our half a cup of sugar. And then when it comes to zesting, you want to, like I kind of use this as a catcher instead of doing it upside down. So you just want to kind of go around zesting only the vibrant yellow part of the lemon. Because if you go any farther, you're going to hit the pith, which is white, and it's very, very bitter. So you'll come off with a very off taste in your finished product. So see how I've kind of trapped it all? I'm just going to kind of empty it at one time, and then we'll do the other half. So what I recommend is you can still juice this lemon in a couple of days. Just put it in a plastic bag, like a Ziploc plastic bag, and otherwise it'll get really hard, and then it'll get desiccated really fast. Desiccated, word of the day. Okay, we're almost done. So you want your crust to come out of the oven and then get really, really cool, okay? Because heaven forbid we put this filling in a hot crust. So let me just combine this really fast. Okay, I wish you had smell-o-vision because that smells really, really good. But anyway, there's my mixture. And you just want to take all this excess off. If you weren't here right now, I would take my finger because it was clean and washed, and I would probably use my finger instead of the spatula. But shh, for your purposes today, I'm gonna try to get what I can off of that. Okay, so go ahead and scrape down the sides. So you're kind of getting it all into one big mass. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna add my cream. I'm gonna just add it all at once. I mean, normally when you're doing a cake or something like that, you'll do the rule of thirds, which is add a third, fold it in, add a third, fold it in, add a third, fold it in. This half of a cup of cream is really just not much at all. So I'm just gonna do the whole thing. Okay, folding. Basically, you are coming up and under the product and kind of mixing it around because I want to keep that volume that I just created. All right? So it's just kind of making the cream cheese a little bit more light and fluffy. Okay. You'll probably be like, she is not folding anymore. Well, okay. People, just take your time, fold it in, make it a homogeneous, beautiful little mixture. All is gorgeous. Okay? So that looks really great. It's all nice and incorporated. So I've done a crust in advance so that we can do this part. And you can see that it's obviously a different size, but a different size of pan, but that's all right. Makes no difference. It's going to be beautiful. So I just want to scoop all of this onto my crust that's nice and cooled. Okay. Who's doing my dishes? I don't know. Okay, so just take an offset spatula, and then I want to just kind of smear it to the edge, and I don't want to get any of my crust. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to bring my crust with me, is what I'm trying to say. But that said, it's not the worst thing because you're going to cover it up with strawberries anyway. Oh my gosh, this looks good just as is. I don't know. Oh, see? Hello. I said that, and then I'm going to go hide my pretzel right there. Okay, that's probably grand. You kind of want to just make it nice and level. All right, so let's go ahead and do our strawberries. So here's the trick. You want to make you want to start from the outside, okay? And you want to start kind of shingling the strawberries. So this is kind of unique because the first one that I did is going to be in concentric, yes, that's the word, circles. So this one is going to be a little unusual in that it's going to be kind of squared off, but that's all right because it's going to look really, really pretty. And I'm kind of sticking the strawberries up ever so slightly. Now, the part that I just did up until the strawberries, you could totally just put plastic wrap on it, and you could do that like the night before your party, okay? And then what you would want to do is maybe like an hour before your party, you could put the strawberries on, the glaze on, and then you could pop it back in the fridge, excuse me. Okay. Some of these strawberries I sliced really, really, really big, but that is all right. Okay, so then the next layer, you're going to alternate, right? So that it's kind of in between the previous layer to make it kind of nice and pretty. And I got to do this faster, sorry. It's like a work of art, people. And see how I've just kind of sliced each strawberry like this way? So I hold it, and then I sliced it each slice that way. Now, obviously, let's say strawberries aren't your thing. Feel free to use any other berry. I mean, I'm sure you could do blackberries, you could do blueberries, raspberries. Oh my gosh, I think I'm gonna run out of strawberries. Who knew? That's okay, shh, it's gonna be pretty. Okay, so we're almost done. Last but not least, whoa, okay, he is Mondo. We're just gonna do this guy. Okay, so hello. I mean, in the real world, I would have filled this up. I'm not gonna waste the time for a second. I just zapped this in the microwave for a little bit, and it's just strawberry preserves. And I'm gonna try not to use the clumps that are in there, but I kind of just wanna brush each of the strawberries. Kind of just make some glisten and pop. Okay, and notice there's a little bit of like a clump of a strawberry from the jam that I kind of just want to get rid of. I just want the nice little liquid. Okay, there we go. I've only done a couple because I have one that I've already done in advance. Holy nut. Take a look at this gorgeous creature. So I would definitely chill this for at least an hour before your guests arrive, if not more. Yeah, like a good 3 or 4 hours would be phenomenal. But take a look at that crust. That is gorgeous. And I think the salty with the sweet is going to be fantastic. So to get this recipe and all the other recipes from Homeschooled, you're going to go to harmonsgrocery.com, or you can check us out on our Vimeo platform or our YouTube platform. Just go to Harmons Grocery. Thanks for joining me.